I grew up with addicts, and so growing up I had a very destructive life. By the time I was 12, I was a full-blown addict. I had my first child at 16 years old, and I used drugs the whole time I was with my children, trying to raise my children. I ended up working in the club industry, selling my body and using drugs. I didn't know any different to raise a family any different because that's all I was ever shown. It takes everything away from you. I always wanted to become this person, mom, everything, and I didn't know how to become it because I allowed drugs to run my life. You know, I lost my children. I didn't know how to raise them. I was raising them in the same way that I was raised, and I couldn't stand it, you know. I actually got arrested. My first time was 2008. And then after that, it was just, it was kind of nonstop, it seemed like.
When I got divorced, I started drinking really bad, and I was in my early 20s. I made a decision to let my kids go live with their dad, you know. And at the time I made that decision, it was the best decision for that day. Maybe not the next day, because I couldn't forgive myself. And I got high, and I stayed high for a long time. Before long, I found myself in treatments, and one right after the other. I went to treatment like 2 years ago, and that's when my son came to the Jesus House. My son got here. It was hard for him getting here, but he got here, and when he did, he graduated this program. That was amazing. He was advised not to go back to his hometown and go back to his girlfriend, and he chose to do that. And within a month and a half, 2 months, she found him hanging in her closet. I was totally broken at this point. And I made it through the funeral and everything, but that night I relapsed, and it was just downhill from there. I've always believed in Jesus and God, but I got angry. I got really angry, you know? And I just started slipping.
I was on meth for about 3 years, and it helped me to forget a lot of what I didn't want to feel. My day-to-day life during my addiction was just total chaos. I spent almost 3.5 years running from feelings that I didn't want to deal with, and always chasing that next high.
The start of my addiction started when I was pretty young, just graduating high school. I was nervous about graduating and losing all my friends, and I fell into substance abuse. My rock bottom for me was whenever I was living at my parents' house at the age of 30, thinking there was nothing wrong with the way my life was functioning. I had no problem with it. I was stealing from my own mother and just completely unable to stand on my own 2 feet.
I was 25, and that was the first time I ever did methamphetamines. And so it just hooked me the first time, and I couldn't get off of it. I couldn't fight for my kids. I thought I was fooling everybody, but I wasn't. My oldest daughter, she quit talking to me for 2 years. My mom was trying to get me committed to a mental place because she didn't understand what was wrong with me. And it was pretty much to the point where I had almost burned all my bridges with my family. I felt really unloved, unwelcome. I felt like I was a burden to my family. I was ashamed that I'd have to, knock on the door and be like, hey, I'm hungry, or I need a shower, or can I just lay down for a while? It was lonely and sad, and there was times that I felt suicidal. There was times I didn't want to go on.
I walked in the door thinking that this was just another homeless shelter, did not think at all that it was a recovery program. And now that I look back on it, I can definitely see where the hand of God picked me up from where I was. He said, okay, enough is enough. It's time for you to get better. And he brought me here. I had no idea what I was walking into. The program in itself is about 10 to 12 months, and it's based off of the 12 steps. So by the time you reach your 10-month mark, they pretty much want you to be through the all 12 steps.
I really believe God led me here because I had no plan of action. I just started walking and trying to find places to sleep. Then I heard about the Jesus House feeding. So, I only was after food. I didn't want to be in another program. Well, they fed me, but it turned from physical food to a spiritual food. It's the Jesus House. How can you not find him? And wow, it's been amazing. There's a lot of people who will come in just like myself, wanting a meal. Next thing you know, someone's speaking to you about the program. You can't force sobriety on anyone. That'll never work. But whenever you see somebody else doing well, like the other residents here, I see what's working in your life. And heck, that's it right there. You see somebody else doing positive, that can give you hope.
I've been to several treatments and never felt what I'm feeling here. My son came here and graduated the program. I wanted to come here and see what he got out of it, you know. And when I got here and they assigned me a bed, they put me in his bed, not knowing that was the way it was going to work out. And that's a God thing. Coming here and going to these classes, it's helping me understand that he's okay. I'm getting peace of mind, you know, something I haven't had in a long, long time.
You know, when you come in here, they tell you this is the last time you ever have to do this. This is your, and they mean it. And the reason it's different from others is because they do get down to the core of our problem. They show you hope. They show you real love. They offer so many classes here. These classes, you get such good ways of living a new life.
I was sitting in the bunk the other day and I was just looking around the room and I was thinking, what a privilege it is that I have this bed here. Because we go to classes. We have all different kinds of classes. You can choose the AA program or church Bible-based classes. We go to church. We do things like street ministry where we go out and feed the homeless. I work in the laundry room and I'm the laundry supervisor right now. About 2 months after I was here, they made me laundry supervisor. And it built up my confidence, made me not so scared of people.
Here in the Jesus House, we're all expected to work, and work therapy was something I was not too happy about. However, it's one of the best parts of my day now because it's helped get my mind off of negative things and negative cycles.
Working at the front desk and being well into my program, and then seeing some of the people come in off the street that want to get into the program, it's a very humbling experience. And some of them, you know, all of them come down with their heads, you know, low and no self-confidence whatsoever. And it's really helped me to stay grounded and remember that's where I was and I never want to be there again. The Jesus House does offer a GED program for those residents that don't have high school diplomas. And it is something that became mandatory for the program. And that's one of the things that really makes you realize that they push for you to be successful here. They want you to succeed and they want you to have that sense of fulfillment for things like that, to get a cap and gown ceremony at the end of all your testing. And that is something that I never thought I would get to experience, walking across a stage to receive a diploma.
Because of the Jesus House, I am confident I can show love. I love myself. I found a relationship with God. If it wasn't for the Jesus House, I wouldn't be anything I am today. It's totally transformed my life.
My daughter started talking to me again since I've been here. My mom is, you know, she's talking to me. She's trying to trust me. And my grandparents, they've come to see me. And then my three youngest children that I haven't been able to see in a very long time, I got to see them 3 weeks ago for about 10 minutes. And that was a miracle in itself. So it was really just, I've only been here 6 months and it's totally turned everything around.
The difference between the Jesus House and other programs to me is just the love behind everything. There's discipline anywhere you go. However, here you feel the love behind it, like the Lord chastises those he loves. I finally understand that now.
This place it changes lives. Every day it changes lives. And it's so awesome to get to see the changing of my life and other people's.
In 60 days, I feel like a new person. And I still have a lot of healing to do, but through this program, I'm finding some hope.